Okay. So yay, finally we're getting to new materials. We're not stuck with the practice slides anymore. We're now moving on to new materials. And as you can see from the title screen, it's about classes and objects. So I've already gave you guys a hint last class. I don't know how you guys pursued that hint, but fair reminder, the classes here does not mean the classes you take at school. It's a completely different thing. The classes here more fits on, it's more analogous to the word classification. All right, it's more like a classification. It's not classes as if you're taking classes at school to learn lessons and so on. No, not those classes. It's about classifications classes. And objects. So as you know, everything that we can touch in real life are objects. And objects from a programmer's perspective is a little bit different. And it actually is tied directly into the word classes that we're talking right now. But we'll see later how it actually works. So there's no homework from last class, so I'm not going to check over homework, and I'm going to kick things off for today's class on using a case study. So let's say you're making a program to store information about a person, okay? And for simplicity's sake, we're just going to record 3 things: the first name, the last name, and the age of the person. All right. So being a junior, as a junior programmer that you guys are, how would you store this information? How would you go about storing this information? Leo, how would you go about storing this information when it comes to you? All right, Leo is falling asleep. Hannah, how would you go about storing this information when it comes to you? So let's say right now you have you are trying to store a person's name whose first name is Lennon, last name is Yu, and age is, let's say, 21. How would you go about storing this in your program?
Maybe like storing it.
Yeah, just like asking the computer to remember.
Oh, you would use input, and then after that, yeah, I guess you would use a variable to remember.
Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially the variables. So you can have variables like first name equals Lennon, and then last name equals Yu, and age being 21. Yeah, pretty straightforward, isn't it? But here's a caveat, or here's a twist. Hold on. I just lost track of my chat window. Leo just sent something. Yeah, Leo. So essentially, you're still doing the same thing. You're using variables. You're using variable names, like you're using a variable called first name to store the name. Yeah, nothing wrong about this, but here's the twist. Let's say you have multiple of, you have like many people that you all want to store information about. Let's say it's not just about me anymore, it's about me and you two. So in that case, what I have to do, I have to create more variables, right? But can I use the same variable again? Can I use the same variable name first name? I cannot, because I do want to keep everyone's information. So first name has already been used to record my information, like my first name. So in order, let's say right now I want to store Hannah's information. So Hannah, what's her last name?
Chang, Cheng, or Chung.
Oh, Right. So, and what's your age right now?
I'm 13.
13 years old. Okay. So let's say I want to store information about Hannah. Then obviously I cannot use this name anymore. It's already been taken to store my first name. Then I can probably do something like first name 2 equals Hannah. And similarly for the last name. Similarly for the age. So yeah. And let's do that. Let's do that for Leo as well. So Leo, what's your last name? Hello? Leo? All right, Leo's falling asleep behind the screen again. Let's just make another.
I sent it in the chat.
Oh, okay, there we go. Bow. Okay, thanks for that. And what's your age?
10.
10. Right. So again, first name, the variable name first name has been taken for my information. First name 2 has been taken for Hannah's information. So as a normal programmer that you are, you will probably just think, okay, first name 3 equals Leo. Last name 3 equals Bao. And age 3 equals 10. Right. Do you guys see a problem here? As we are adding more and more records, more and more people's information into this, can you see a problem here? Actually, not just a problem. There are several problems here. Can anyone tell me?
Wait. Maybe that you would like stop keeping track of the like age numbers. Also, sorry for accidentally interrupting you.
It's all right. So you said like stop keeping track of the age number. Yeah. So for example, maybe at some point when there's like enough records down here, I will start to forget. Okay, first name 3. Whose record is that? Is that Hannah's or is that my record? Yeah. So that's one problem. Lost track of whose variable name is this? Yeah. Leo, you raise your hand. What do you want to say?
There's a lot of variables.
Yeah, there's simply a lot of variables you have to type out. There is a lot of variable names you need to type out. Like, just think about how many characters do you need to type for the variable name first name 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have to type 11 characters for just one variable name that doesn't even record the entire information. That's just the first name. We still need to type out variable names for the last name and for the age. Like, holy hell, that's gonna get pretty intimidating when there's like a lot of records that you want to take. Like, for example, there's like hundreds of people that you want to record information on. So how would you propose a solution to this, to avoid both of these problems? Lost track of who is recorded by this variable name, and also to avoid typing out too many variable names when you're creating new entries. How can you do this? Any suggestions? Oh, I already see. Sorry, Hannah, I already see one from Leo's. So Leo posted this earlier in the chat. Maybe we will need a while loop and an append. So when you say append, I am assuming that you are using a list. So for example, you can have list of first name, which starts with empty list, and then we can just And then whenever we're adding a new person into record, we can just say, or actually, let me just rename this as first names. Whenever we're adding a new record to the list, we can just do first names append Lennon. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. And then append Hannah, append Leo. And then we also have another name for last names. Oops. So last name is just going to be last names append you. Append Hannah Chan. Append Leo Bao. And similarly for the age. Ages equals that, and then we do ages append. So my age is 21, and then Hannah's age is 13, and Leo's age is 10. All right. So what does this solve? It solves the problem of having to create new variable names. You know, you don't have to make new names every time you start recording a new person. It avoids that. You keep everything in a list, and then you just simply append to the list. But the first problem is still not solved, because when this list gets long enough, you for sure will start to forget, okay, where did I add it Lennon's record in this list? Was it the first one that I added? Was it the second one that I added? And so on. So this problem is still not solved. So before I move on, how would you guys think that we can do this in a better way? Or how can we improve based on what we have so far?